The Roundtable yearly series was conceived and first hosted by the Nigerian Content Monitoring and Development Board in 2021. This year's edition, which is the third in the series, has as its theme Fostering Local Content in Africa for Africans. This is born out of the need for a forum of oil-producing countries and drivers of local content in Africa to discuss measures to address challenges in the oil and gas industry as the continent moves towards energy transition.
70% of the oil that we produce is exported outside of the African continent, and over 40% of the gas we produce is also exported outside of the African continent. Africa must be allowed to use its affordable and readily available source of energy.
Declaring the roundtable open, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Oil, Henneken Lukobiri, says there is urgent need for African countries to implement strategies that promote sustainable development of the oil and gas industry.
Industry policymakers will acknowledge the challenges that come with this sector, including price volatility, dependence on foreign technology, reliance on offshore funding, and lately, sustainability concerns.
And to further drive this agenda, Nigeria has established 8 new oil and gas industrial parks in 8 states, with 2 of them ready for commissioning in the first quarter of 2024. Experts here say local content should be made a national agenda to cover various sectors of the economy rather than just oil and gas.
While the local content law may not necessarily be all-encompassing, consideration should be given to other key sectors of the economy rather than just oil and gas. I look forward to the panel deliberations on factors to consider in selecting the sectorial coverage of local content legislations.
While assuring that the rehabilitation of the nation's refineries is making progress, state-owned oil company NNPC Limited says investment capital is being attracted to develop renewable energy sources.
As a continent, we need to expedite our efforts in monetizing our hydrocarbon resources, cleaner energy sources, and so forth. We must share best practices, establish common standards, and learn from one another.
The African Petroleum Producers Organization says to drive funding challenges, the organization is partnering with Afrexim to establish an African Energy Bank. About 26 African countries are represented at this roundtable, sponsored by the African Petroleum Producers Organization and the Heritage Times. The aim is to establish regional centers of excellence in the oil and gas sector across the continent. Georgina Ndukwezaika, Arise News.